So right here is our gate, and well, we've had quite a bit of snow, of course, but this is what's on the property currently, and we are hoping that we can branch off of this driveway to go into that direction, and that where the tree line ends, that's the edge of our property. This beautiful scene of the sun coming up and showing through the pine trees. I have discovered a new site on our property that I love because of... Hello, I wanted to tell you all a little bit about our property that we got. This is all wooded except for the part that is around our house, but it's all pine, and then there's a few acres that are some different species. We have a total of 38.9 acres, and most of it is wooded. So our plan has been to clear out a path from the street to be able to have a driveway all the way up to that section over there, which is the highest point if you go that way. And we have a view right there that hopefully I can show you all because it's beautiful, but that's where we plan to build our own house. And it's going to take quite a bit of work to get to be able to get the driveway all the way up there and utilities and whatnot. I'm sure you all, if you're building or if you have built your own house, you know what I'm talking about. But we are currently living in a double wide, which is what was on the property, and has been pretty nice so far to have the ability to be on the property and not have to build right away. But that day is going to come sooner than later, and we're very excited for that to happen. So right here is our gate, and well, we've had quite a bit of snow, of course, but this is what's on the property currently, and we are hoping that we can branch off of this driveway to go into that direction, and that where the tree line ends, that's the edge of our property. So hopefully we could build a driveway all the way up to the top of the hill where the home site will be. So when we lived in a neighborhood with an HOA, we wanted chickens, and so I decided, since the HOA wasn't gonna let me have chickens, I asked in a Facebook group of homeschooling moms if anybody in the area had a little spot where I could have a coop that I could trade for eggs and other goodies that I could make for them. And I found a mom that let me have chickens there. So I remember the first winter of having chickens there, she had a big driveway like the one I have right now, or I guess even steeper than what I had right now. And when it snowed in, it was really hard to navigate going up to the coop, up that hill, and not wreck against one of the trees there. And oh my goodness, that was an ordeal. I'm gonna show you this beautiful scene of the sun coming up and showing through the pine trees. It's beautiful, isn't it? So when we first got this property, we were looking to at least have 10 acres, and my husband went to an auction and had bid on a property and won the property, but this was contingent on the previous owners paying the tax that they owed. And so by the time that we had done all the paperwork to get the property and it was ours, they had the previous owners redeemed the property, so that means they paid the taxes they owed within the time limit that they had to do so. And unfortunately, that property was returned to them. Anyway, we were very disappointed, but our realtor ended up showing us this property, and we fell in love with it. So we decided that it was the one. These pines are everywhere. We're hoping to get a good price on this timber. If we decide to sell it, then we have to tear it down for our new house. But otherwise, we could use it for our own personal uses. I think it's pretty awesome to have that resource on your own land. So the way we got this property, in order to put a down payment on it, we had to get a HELOC on our other house. That way we could have the cash and be able to have that as our down payment. But the HELOC, of course, if you don't pay it down or you don't pay it off, it's like a credit card, so you keep paying interest and very high interest on that loan. But that was the only way that we could get a down payment on this property, start moving us to this house, and be able to get the other house ready that we wanted to sell, get it in shape. And we did that, and it was hard. It was a hard period in our lives for sure, especially when we had some hurdles to overcome to be able to sell that house. But we finally sold the house, and we paid off the HELOC, paid down the principal in this property, and hopefully we're working on being debt free and start our new construction on this new home site that we have up on the hill. The previous owners had a dog grooming business down that hill on the right of our driveway, and there's a little shed right there that I'm gonna convert into a studio one day, hopefully. Right now it's storing my plants and all my craft stuff, but it's a really nice feature, I would say, that this property had included, besides the double wide home that's up here at the end of the driveway, and a really nice 3-car garage that we could store more things into. We were looking for property. We knew that we didn't want to compromise in the space, but we did compromise with this house because the price was right, and we knew that eventually we would be able to build our own house with the features that we like and need, and then we could either use this double wide to rent to another family or for guests that could come and visit, because all our family is outside of the state and my family is outside the country. Sorry about that noise. It's pretty noisy up here. My family lives in Argentina, so they're all over there, and whenever they come to visit, we could have extra space up there for them. Hey, you. What's up? Also, what we've noticed is the windbreak that all those trees provide. It's pretty awesome to have that, because when you don't have any trees, it gets really, really windy really fast. even though we don't have any pasture, we can develop that, and that's the plan, to develop pasture, bring in hogs and goats, and of course we need machinery to be able to cut down all the trees that we need. But hopefully when they closer to the house site, we can clear out some areas, whatever we decide is best to have a good pasture for, of course, pasture animals that need pasture. Right now we have goats, and that's our first step towards clearing bushy areas. We have a few bushy areas we're bringing the goats in to clear out, but eventually we're gonna have to get the hogs to clear out all the... Hello, goaties. You're gonna help the homestead, right? And help eat everything that we don't eat. Thank you very much. So the only downside to the shed at the bottom of this hill is that we have to climb up a hill every time we go down here. So that's a bummer, but it's good for exercise, guys. It gets me every time. It gets me out of breath every time. But it's all good. As I was saying, take into account how flat your area is, where you're gonna hopefully build your house, and just make sure that there is a level area for your home site, which we do in this property. We have one where we want to build our house. Well, we have several areas, but like that. But right now, from here to go up that hill, it's a workout. It's a challenge for sure, but we have a vehicle that can take us there much easier, and it came with the property, so that was a plus, and we're very thankful to have it. But for sure we're going to be getting equipment, getting a skid steer, a bulldozer, some of that sort, to make sure and have a backup in case we need to get up there in the future, and also to get the land prepared for the home site and everything that we want to build. This is a little vehicle that came with the property and allows us to climb the trails. And that is...
Mom, can I do Mom?
I think we're ready to go back to my kennel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have discovered a new site on our property that I love because of the view and how the proximity can help us in terms of bringing utilities from where they already are at the double wide, and it's very close to that, and we wouldn't have to make a huge driveway, because most of it would be already done for us. We would just have to bring it a little up higher on the hill just so we can get the view. I'm hiking up there right now. I'm a little out of breath. So that's the thing about this property, is everywhere we go, we have to have a little bit of a hike, but that's okay because it gets our hearts pumping. It's good for us to have some exercise, and instead of working out at the gym, we work out at our homestead. Okay, so here is a little bit of what I was talking about. This view right here, and we could go up a little bit more, but I can't tell you guys how beautiful this is, and it doesn't convey very well in camera. It's beautiful. So thankful. So the plan is we would have to cut down a few trees for sure, and we could use a lot of this as burning wood. There's my goats roaming around. But the idea is we would create a type of silvopasture right next to our home that we could have animals on grazing. And this lower part right here is just bushes right now, so the goats are taking care of that. And hopefully it'll become a orchard. So, exciting times. This is beautiful. This is what I dreamed of. My goats clearing out this area for us. And soon we should bring some piggies as well to join in for this job. These goats are pregnant, so they're gonna have their babies very soon, in the next weeks or next month. Hopefully not when it's so cold outside, because we still have snow on the ground and more coming. So just hold on there, babies. But this view right here is all that we ever dreamed of and more. Thanks for joining me today. Hopefully one of these days I'll get my husband to talk about more of the financial aspect of getting our homestead in place. I have learned a lot about grants, and I'm still learning about grants and USDA construction loans. So that's what I'm researching right now. If you want to know more about that in the comments, please tell me. Give us a thumbs up, and I would love to talk to you all about loans and construction loans and the USDA in particular, because there's a lot of benefits. If you live in a agricultural zone and your property is approved, it's very easy to get a loan and start construction that way. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.